All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Powerhouse Entrepreneur Summit. Today, we are talking with Dr. Linette Montae, and she's the founder and president of Profitable Empires, a personal branding and profitability firm that specializes in building profitable authority for founders, CEOs, and leaders. With over 30 years of experience in profitability and leadership advising and 5 advanced degrees, Dr. Montae's proprietary Scale Your Millions is the go to solution for maximizing brand differentiation, developing high performance leaders, and driving operational excellence. So, today, Dr. Linette is going to talk to us about how to scale your millions with profitable authority. So, Dr. Linette, I want to welcome you to the summit. So glad to
Well,
have you.
hello, how are you? I'm so excited to be here. I just woke up this morning with so much joy to share with you and your community. So, are we ready? I just love to jump in.
I love that. Yes, but I'm going to add your stuff to the stage here.
Okay,
And yes, we'll
great,
let
awesome.
them.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. So, it's funny because I really literally, until about 60 seconds ago, I had not decided what I was going to teach. So it's always about scaling your millions. However, there are so many angles to scaling. So here's what I want to talk about first. I really want to impress upon you the importance of understanding, number one, that scaling is more than systems and SOPs. Because when people hear scale, that's really all that they think about. And if you stay stuck in SOPs and systems, then you are going to really be missing what is necessary to build an empire and what is necessary to leave a legacy. And that's really why we're all here, right? We're at the point where it's not just about us, it's about our children, our grandchildren, and anything else that really matters to you. Most of our clients have already passed the $1 million mark. They are reaching for 10 million. I have a client who's already at 60 million. And so the revenue is not the thing. They've already mastered how to make the money. Now it's about their purpose. It's about, why are they here? And so one of the things I want to impress upon you is that it's more than systems and SOPs. Number two, I want to impress upon you the importance of knowing what stage of building an empire are you. Because if you make decisions based on the glam and the fame and the 60 seconds of fortune that you see on social media, you are going to be doing strategies and activities and using time, resources, and energy on things that will not move the needle for where you are in your business. So before we do anything else, and towards the end of the presentation, I will give you this information again. But I want to start off with the information. I want to give you a link. It's a very simple link to remember, so you can write it down. And I promise at the end, you'll be able to see the link if that is easier for you. And also, I have a QR code so you can scan it if that's your preference. So the link is profitableempires.com/quiz. Why I am giving you this link, it's free. There is no cost whatsoever to the quiz, is because it will ask you just some very short, simple questions, and it will tell you what stage you are in at this point in your business, and it will give you specific strategies for that stage. It's all scaling, because scaling is about making things better, faster, easier with less time, money, and effort. And so at every stage of your business, you want to be thinking about scaling. It's just, what are you scaling? So let me talk about one particular topic I've been talking about for years. Let's call it that. before we get into these slides, because if I jump into these slides and I don't do the get paid formula first, then that is going to create some wobble, I like to call it. And we don't want to add wobble to what you may already be feeling in your business. So let's run through the get paid formula real fast. It is an acronym. PAID is an acronym. So you don't need a slide for that, right? I literally just decided to share this just now. So just write PAID on your paper or in your phone. P stands for participate. A stands for automate. I stands for isolate. And D stands for delegate. So follow me for a moment. We're going to do the A, the I, and the D because the rest of this presentation is really going to focus on that P. And so the A is automate. It is absolutely important. If you are going to be the CEO of your company, you have to come out of the weeds of your business and you have to step into that CEO seat. In order to do that effectively and with enjoyment, you are going to want to automate as many things as possible. Automate does not mean that one size fits all. There are a million tools out there. Just because it sounds good doesn't mean it's the right fit for you. So that's one thing I want to share, stress, beg, please, just because you heard about a tool and the tool sounds amazing doesn't mean it's the right fit for where you are in your business right now, or where you want to go next, or your personality, your style, your brand, your flavor. So there is that. I is isolate. There's two sides to isolate. The first side is what are you not doing in your business that needs to be done? And oftentimes it's because you are tapped out. You're tapped out on resources of time, people, energy, effort, money. And so we want to look for those things in your business that you're doing that don't need to be done just because someone said it was a good idea, or maybe they worked. That step, that strategy, that idea worked for you last year doesn't mean it's going to work this year. So what can we isolate? That means get it off of your plate, get it out of the funnel, get it out of the process or the system. The other side of isolate is what are those things that you really ought to be doing? You know what they are. You've had the list. My to-do list is a whole notebook, right? So if you're like me, you have a notebook of a to-do list that just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. What's on that to-do list that you need to now put on your plate? Because you've made room by automating some things, isolating some things, and now what can you start doing? I.e., if you can only do one thing that most people are not very proficient at, it's follow-up. So I'm voting for follow-up going on your plate this year. That's going to move the needle faster than anything else you can possibly do. And then the D is delegate. If you are going to step out of the weeds, if you are going to stop putting out the daily fires, and you are going to be the CEO of your company, you will need to delegate. There's a lot that goes into delegating. How do you hire? How do you supervise and manage and promote? All of those things go into delegate. So A is automate. Do not automate things that don't need to be done. So do the isolate first. And then you're going to isolate what doesn't need to be done, add in the things that do move the needle, and then you are going to delegate everything that does not require you. So now let's get to the P, because the participate is all about you. It's all about what are you doing now that you have all of that stuff off your plate? And it's real funny. We want to get to that point. It's the whole creme de la creme, right? You have the laptop lifestyle, or you can get up at whatever time in the morning you want. Whatever it looks like to you to have the CEO lifestyle, this is the whole reason that we've done all this work. But a lot of CEOs don't know what they're supposed to do because they were so used to doing the day-to-day and supervising the team and putting out the fires. So this is what I want you to know. This is what you should be doing. I like to call participate. Your job is to shake hands and kiss babies. That's what your job is at this point. You want to be spending your time delivering on only the thing that you can do, your genius, and the rest of your time is building relationships and being the visionary of your company. And so when I talk about building relationships, I am talking about within your company, because it's very important for you as the leader to develop a very cohesive, productive, loving, if you will, company culture. Because in order for your customers to continue to buy from you, they are going to need an amazing experience. In order for your customers to receive that amazing experience, your team, your people, volunteers, your interns, they have to be on board. They have to feel like they are part of the team. They're not just a number. And that starts with you. That starts with how you are, how you be, how you show up. So now that we've covered that foundational piece, let's go ahead and jump into these slides, because these slides now are going to show you exactly what it's going to take to build an empire. And so the title of this is Scale Your Millions with Profitable Authority. A lot of people are talking about authority, but they are building a brand, a presence, and they are forgetting to monetize that. They're forgetting that there is profitability in authority. So we are all about money, honestly, because whether you're a nonprofit, whether you just love to help, you are going to need green money in order to do all things. So we're going to start with this framework, and I'm going to walk you through what it looks like. And so first of all, the framework has 7 layers. And each of the layers is very important and is very necessary. This is where that quiz is going to be so important, because it's going to let you know where to focus. So don't pick, as I go through this framework, don't pick in your mind where you think you're sitting, where you think you are going next, because most often I have found that to not be accurate. We often see ourselves the way we want to be and not necessarily where we are at the moment. So there's 7 layers. Let's go through them. Layer number 1 is power. And that power is you. It's all about you, who you be. How are you showing up? It's your brand, your personal brand. And that is so critical to you now stepping into that CEO role. You need to develop a very strong, magnetizing personal brand. And for us, as I already mentioned, it's not just about how you look or logos or titles or topics. It's also about you being happy and you being healthy, because that is a huge part of how you present and how you show up to the world. You may put on the makeup and you may put on the fancy clothes, but if you haven't done the work on the inside, it will show up. And so one of the things that I promised to share in this interview, in this episode, in this show, is what is the number one secret. And the number one secret to a wonderful, just amazing and profitable personal brand is self-mastery. Hands down, it is self-mastery. You have to do the work on you before you are going to be able to lead anyone. Let's move on to layer number 2, and that is positioning. This is that shaking hands and kissing babies. This is you doing interviews. This is you being featured in the media. This is you winning awards. You and your positioning of your personal brand is what really starts the avalanche of followers, the avalanche of money, the avalanche of conversation. That's the buzz. That's the most important part of these two layers. And so now think about this. If you look at your screen, the first layer is soil. And so many people forget or miss or misunderstand that the soil is not where you build the most important piece of the business, because your soil needs to be free to grow, right? Those are the roots. Your soil is where the roots of your business are. And that's why it's you, because you are the roots. You need room to grow and to expand. The foundation, which is the hard part, right? So we're building, this is a house. You see that? And we're equating this to building your empire because you understand what it means to build a house. Yes. And so the foundation is the hardest part. It's rock solid. It is what the rest of your foundation is built upon, or the rest of your empire, rather, is built upon. So that's why it is your positioning. If the world doesn't know who you are, if the world doesn't know what you bring to the table, if the world doesn't know that you are just downright amazing, then the rest of your empire is going to be more challenging and take long to build. So positioning is getting you out there into the world, winning those awards, being in the spotlight. A lot of entrepreneurs shy away from that. We like being behind the camera or behind the computer or behind the camera, but in the house, right? We don't want to be out front. But it's time. When you get to participate, it is time, especially if you are over the $1 million mark. So let's go to the next layer, which is your people. We talked about people already just a little, right? That left wall is your people. Who are you hiring? How are you supervising them? How are you building them into leaders? Because you don't need a whole bunch of more followers. Otherwise, you'll find yourself being pulled back into those weeds. Layer number 4 is your process. And so if you notice, those are the two walls. That is what is going to hold up the roof that we're going to talk about in a moment. And I already mentioned that in order for you to have an amazing customer experience, you need for your people to be happy. You need your people to be healthy. You need your people to be whole. You need them to know that you care, that you are accessible. There's a lot that goes into being a high performance leader. That's you. You need to be a high performance leader who knows how to build a high performance team. And the way that you do that is by having those processes and systems in place. Because if you don't have processes and systems in place for them to follow, they're going to continue reinventing the wheel, which is wasting money, time, and resources. They are going to continue to make mistakes, which requires rework, which is also wasting time, energy, and money. So when it's all said and done, whether you get the chicken first or the eggs first, the old time adage that we've never solved, right? Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know, but what I can tell you is that if you have some basic processes in place, and then you hire your team, let your team build out the rest of those processes and systems, because they are the ones that have to do the actual work, not you. They are the ones that are in the weeds every day, not you. And so that goes back to my caution earlier about choosing tools. Why are you the one choosing the tool? Why? You're not the one that's going to do the work. Stop choosing the tools. Let your team choose the tool because they are the ones that have to do the work. There's a million autoresponders out there. There's 10 all-in-ones out there. Which all-in-one, which autoresponder is your team going to use? Because if they're not going to use it, it's not going to matter. Let's move on to layer number 5. Layer number 5 is pioneering, and that means innovation. You cannot stay in the same place that you've been for the last year, the last 2 years. My goodness, the last 3 years have been a blur, right? I can't remember what happened. And since AI has hit the scene, that blur is going 100 miles an hour. So if you're not ready, if you're not willing, if you're not able to step up and embrace innovation, there's no need hiding. There's no need trying to fight it because it is going to win. I promise you. And so if you actually want to build, to create profitable authority, if you want to create a legacy, then you need to embrace innovation. You need to be a pioneer, not just within your company, but in your industry. That's how you make change. That's how you have influence. That's how you make an impact, is by being innovative in your industry, being a thought leader. When you show up, when you do media features, when you write articles, when you do things like that, what are you saying? Are you sharing? Are you regurgitating? Or are you presenting original thought? Because that's what your industry is looking for. When we get to layer number 6, now this is one of my favorite layers because the truth is we can't do this alone. We can get to a certain point in our business and in our revenue alone, absolutely 100%. But I guarantee somewhere around 750,000 if you are a consultant or a solopreneur or a coach, someone who primarily works alone with a small team or 1 or 2 people, you are going to need to do partnerships. That doesn't mean a legal partnership. It means collaborations with others, collaborations with businesses that are like yours. There's no such thing as competition. Don't shy away from businesses that do what you do because they don't do it the way you do it. I have a really, really good friend. We were actually born on the same exact day, same exact year, only a few hours apart. We met in 2009 at an event. We do the exact same thing, but we don't have the same style. We don't have the same energy. We don't even have the same skin color. And so we are always recommending one another because while we teach the same thing, if they are not feeling her, they are usually feeling me, and vice versa. So when you think about collaborations, it can be someone that does exactly what you do. It can be someone who has your customer. So they don't do what you do at all, but they have your customer. Get to know them, spend time with them, see how you can do things together to continue to grow and build each other up. There's no crabs in a crab pot. We need to let that go, okay? It's 2024. And I believe that we can all grow. We can all succeed. I am the heart, the gold of heart person with the pom poms. That's what my clients always say. I am the cheerleader. So I think you can do it. I think everyone can do it. But you have to make that decision first to be you. Second, to really solidify your high performance leadership capabilities, and then to embrace pioneering and partnership. And the reason you're doing all that is because you want to get to the profit layer. That's the entire point. All this building has led us to that amazing chimney and that smoke that's coming out, which is your profit. And so now, even though I have shared the framework from 1 to 7, you are going to build it from 7 back. because you want to reverse engineer what it is that you desire to have. So now we've covered all that, right? The whole point was to get here. You've scaled your millions. You have your power, your position, your people, your process, your pioneering. You are doing partnerships and you've achieved that profit. And now you are in your house chilling. That's what you're doing in this layer. Please, I've gone through the framework real quick. I share details about this, in other ways, other times, other places. So if you follow me on social media at Linette Montae, wherever you go, it's Linette Montae, then you can continue to learn from me. But now let me do what I promised, which is to share again the visual link for profitableempires.com/quiz. Why are you going there? Because even though I just laid out exactly the 7 layers you need to scale your millions, to build profitable authority, to create a legacy empire, you need to know where are you in that process, in those steps, in those layers, so that you know what to do now and you know what to do next. And so here's the QR code. If you fancy like me, then you can take a grab of that and it will take you directly to the page. The quiz only takes about 2 minutes. You certainly have 2 minutes to scale your millions. And I hope to see you on Instagram or LinkedIn, which is my new favorite, or here on Facebook, where I'm a little bit more personal, talk about food and all kinds of things. But wherever you like to hang out, I'm probably there. Oh, wait, that's not true. I am not on TikTok, okay? Just saying. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. Let me know if you have questions. You can put them in the comments. I'll check there later. And also, you can DM me. I love talking to people in the DMs as well. So back to you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Dr. Linette. That was so good. I'm excited about the quiz because I love that idea because we're not all in the same space, so it's a good thing to see where we are and what steps we need to take further and things like that. So I'm gonna take the quiz. This is so
Yeah.
good. Thank you for this. Thank you so much. So yeah, definitely connect with Dr. Linette. As you can see, her framework is amazing. I do something similar to what she does as well. Like she spoke about how people do the same things, but we don't do all the same. So it's like, just get in where you can fit in because you're going to need all of these things, everything that she spoke about to actually scale your business this year and beyond. So, Dr. Linette, we want to say thank you again. Do you have any final words for us?
Oh, I love final words.
Yeah.
I'll leave with this, which is my favorite quote right now. My mantra for this year is: you're not just a player, you're the one redefining the rules.
I love that. Well said. Well said. All right, guys. Thank you for attending the summit. We got some more for you to come, so make sure you signed up and we'll get you out the links and everything, and we'll do a wrap up of everyone that attended live so that you can get all the links to their wonderful offers. All right, so take care and we'll see you later.
Bye bye.